Hey guys, I want to preface this video by saying the good, the bad, and the ugly is based on my initial drone experience. Now, I just received my second Mavic Mini the day I was shooting this video, or the section that you're going to see in a minute. I think this is good in case anybody else comes into these issues. So if you do, you know you're not alone. And DJI is very good to work with when it comes to it. Just explain your situation to them and you can swap it out. But all right, enjoy the video and let's see what we see. I still cannot get over the size of this drone when you hold it in person. I mean, I've seen plenty of videos of it, other channels reviewing it, and they measured up to phones, all of these other crazy things. But until you actually hold it in your hands, I'm just so amazed by the small size of this drone, as well as the lightness of it. It's just incredible. Can you see it? I'm out in Westerly, Rhode Island. There's the ocean house. I'm trying to get some scenic shots with this drone. And I can't get nature this time of the year. We're a couple days away from December. Everything is all dead out there. So I'm trying to get some scenic shots of Rhode Island, some well-known areas, stationary objects, that kind of thing. I think Westerly is really nice. That ocean house is well known. Got the lighthouse over there. But today's video, I want to talk about drones. I am a drone enthusiast. I love them. I've been flying them for years. I fly for hobby. I'm a commercial pilot. I have my Part 107. I also make YouTube videos, obviously, and I use them for that, for the B-roll, and just to kind of show a bigger picture of the area, give you an idea of where I am. But I want to talk about the Mavic Mini. DJI announced this a couple of weeks ago, and I was all excited about it. A very compact drone. Now, I'm all about compactability. All my camera gear, I look for compactability with quality. And this drone just really fits the bill when it comes to that. Now, I own other DJI drones, the Mavic 2 Pro, the Mavic Air and such. So I was always impressed with the quality of video and picture, and this drone was no different. But I have had it for a couple of weeks now, and I want to give you my take on my experiences with this drone, because I have a wide variety. I want to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly. So DJI announced this drone with their marketing idea of fly as you are. And the point with that is that under 250 grams, you do not have to register this as a hobbyist in the US. And some other countries like Canada and areas of Europe, it gets you a lot of freedom, and you have to jump through a lot less hoops in order to fly. So it makes it that much more accessible. Now, because of that kind of standard, it's also known as the entry-level drone or beginner's drone. And I'll agree with that to an extent. But I have some cautions about that I'm going to get into in the video as well. But just because this drone is a lesser expensive drone and it's very light, doesn't mean it's a cheap toy.
It locks into my seat.
Are they heavy?
Yeah.
Then they're expensive. Put them back.
So here's my experiences with it. I'm going to start off with the ugly and work my way to the good. Now, the ugly is one thing and one big thing. When I got this drone a couple of weeks ago, I was out flying, trying to make my videos. And by the way, this is probably like my 4th or 5th attempt at it. A couple of them I just hated the way it was going. I just was not happy with it. But the first part was definitely drone related. About 50% of the videos I was shooting were shaky. And I mean, whether the drone's stationary or flying, you can see the objects are just shaking. It just rendered them useless. And it was very discouraging too, because you're out there flying all day or maybe 2 days worth, because I didn't pop all the disk in right away. I just kept changing my memory cards. And to find out 50% of them are no good, it was very discouraging. And I tried to see if it was on me, if it was my fault. The drone has a minimum wind resistance of maximum wind resistance of 17.9 miles an hour. So I figured maybe I was flying in too much winds. The last couple of weeks have been really crazy with the weather. But the winds that I was flying in was some of it less than that, some of it over that. So it wasn't wind related. Then I also figured the temperatures. It's been really cold around here as well some days. It has a minimum temperature range of 32 degrees, which a lot of the drones have. And some of the days were over the 32 degrees. So it had nothing to do with that either. It was all drone related. All right, so let me give you some of the bads. So here is the first bad. What this drone is really known for and promoted at is the weight, the 249 grams. if you are a beginner pilot, or any pilot for that matter, here is one thing that I found. Now, I'm not sure if it was that first drone. I'll find out more as this one goes. Maybe that drone had some bugs in it altogether. But either way, I think it has more to do with the weight. The first day I was flying with it, I was out in Jamestown. The winds were 16 miles an hour. The gusts of winds were 25. I'm flying out by the Dumpling docks there. I'm going out to where the house is on the rock, trying to get some really cool cinematic shots of that. I go over to where the boats and the rocks are. There's a tailwind as I'm flying out to where the rocks are. But I'm not worried about it, because I'm only going to go out about 1,000 feet, up about 100 feet up in the air. Plenty of battery, so it's of no worry, the wind at that point in time. Yeah, until I turn around. Once I turn around and try to fly it back, I'm in P mode and it's not moving. I mean, in fact, it's starting to come back. So now I'm getting a little anxious over that. But, you know, no worry yet. I pop it into sport mode. Nothing. Maybe a mile or two an hour, but it's just creeping or doing nothing. And then all of a sudden a gust must have hit it and it came back again. But anyway, so now my previous experiences of flying kick in. I know the winds are higher, faster up, or stronger up above. So I drop it down to 55 feet above ground level, and still nothing. I mean, it's just not giving it to me. Now I'm getting scared. Now I'm getting a little nervous. I can't just land it like if I was in a field. If it goes in the water, it's bye-bye drone. So then I just figure, all right, let me not try to go into the headwind dead on. I go a little bit over to the left, so I try to break that head on this, and that worked. That got me out of that situation, brought it back. But it was because of my previous experience, because I didn't panic too much at that time. And that's what I would caution anybody flying this drone. Just keep in mind how light this thing is. Whether you're a brand new pilot or experienced, we always pay attention to the winds as a drone pilot, but this one even more. This lighter weight is just, yes, it holds its own when it's, you know, with the gimbal, shooting the videos, but just that fly mode. I've spoken to a couple other pilots, and they've run into that situation too, but I've run into about 3 or 4 times with my original drone. So, all right, so that's one of the bad, and that's a big bad. Now, here's some more. The video quality and the photograph quality was good, like I expected. At 40 megabytes per second, the transmitting of the data, I mean, it shoots a nice quality picture in video. But the frames per second, I like shooting in 24 frames per second. If you shoot it in 2.7K, you have the option of 25 and 30, 25 or 30. If shooting in 1080 high def, you have 25, 30, 50, and 60. Now, I heard a rumor that DJI is going to do a firmware upgrade that gives us 24. I'm really looking forward to that. But I also hope they update in the firmware. When you take a photograph, you have some manual settings. When you do a video, it's all full auto. So I'm hoping they open up those manual settings in the video as well in that firmware update. DJI is good for firmware updates and listening to their feedback on the things that it can improve. If they're showing us a capability, which it shows it with the photographs, then I'm hoping they open the manual settings when it comes to the video as well. So, I mean, really the last of the bads are the obstacle avoidance. You just got to be aware of it. You got to be aware of crashing into objects with any drone, but without any obstacle avoidance at all for a newbie, it could be top of mind awareness, or it should be top of mind awareness, that is. Now that's really it for the bad. I mean, there's not a whole lot, but there are a couple of things that just to be aware of. The good, now the good's a whole nother story. Man, very impressed. Holy cow. Again, that video and picture quality is really good. The drone is so compactable. It's so small, takes up a very little footprint in my bag, lightweight, easy to work with. That Fly app is really well. The way they designed it, DJI, they really did knock it out the park as far as I'm concerned to go with this drone. It's very quiet. It's got the low noise props. I am very impressed with how quiet this is. But the thing that impresses me the most with this drone is the Wi-Fi. Now, I was so afraid that was going to be one of the bads, but ended up being one of the goods. The Wi-Fi transmission in this drone, I had the Mavic Air. My relationship with the Mavic Air is love-hate, and the hate has everything to do with the Wi-Fi. That Wi-Fi, I run into all kinds of issues as far as transmitting and interference. Even at short ranges. I mean, I'm not trying to fly out for miles. Just some short range flying, catching some bridge and stuff like that. Just run into all kinds of interference. With this drone, I haven't run into any. I've seen some range tests with it. Billy Kyle on his channel did it in a high interference area. Flew out easily a mile, Dustin Dunhill out in Hawaii, in perfect conditions out in Hawaii up on this mountain. Flew about 3 miles. The challenge is more with the battery power, and it just, the Wi-Fi is just so impressive. Now, more of the positives, you have the battery power. The battery, it's just 30 minutes, but I mean, really, you're probably going to get about 25, 26 minutes out of it, which again is fantastic. I'm just so impressed with the amount of technology that DJI has put into this drone. The intelligent modes, you got the asteroid, you got the helix, the circle. It's so, and the drone, sorry, it is so cool. I got to tell you, I don't tell anybody how to spend their money, but for $399 for the drone with the one battery and the controller, or $499 for the Fly More kit, it's well worth it. I think this drone is well worth the money. Alright, so that's it for today's video. I just want to show you some of the scenic shots I got with this drone, talk to you about my experiences, all of my experiences with it, and that's it. So if you have any questions, hit me up below. I'll try to answer as many as possible. If you liked it, hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.